What do each of you miss about Tom or Megadeth? If you miss something.
You know, probably, look, Megadeth started the same way we started DIETH, right? Just getting in a room. In my case, Dave was the primary writer. In this case, Guilherme was the primary writer, and still is. I mean, I actually default and defer to him as sort of the master composer. Even when if I contribute and bring things in, because I trust his instincts. I trust that he knows right from wrong with this, right? Same with the graphics, with our logo, the image, and everything like that. And I did the same thing with Dave over in Megadeth. So in a lot of ways, there's a lot of things that are consistent maybe with that. And in the beginning, we were very poor and we had no money and we were broke. And, it took till the 90s to find a countdown to extinction before we finally had some money. Same with DIETH. Now, look, we're adults, we're grown-ups, we have our own money, so we're not poor and broke and eating musician soup together. But, we, as a group, all bands start the same. And they start here, and until you can prove that you can handle this, you don't get this, right? You have to earn that. So, Guilherme and I are cut from the same cloth that every day we wake up and go, what can we do today to improve our band, right? What one or two or 10 things.
You know what I miss about Megadeth? Was the 90s when we would do all of our interviews in a hotel room. when the record company would send everyone to get danced, and me and Guilherme would have to go down and drink coffee and eat shitty cookies all day and do interviews. That's what I miss in person. So that's no effect of anybody other than just now we use technology that fucks up all the time.
If tomorrow you were asked to rejoin Tom or Megadeth, would you accept? Tell me a little bit about that.
I get asked this in a lot of interviews, and look, they fired me. So, it was their decision to let me go. So to sit around and think that they would ever call me back is wishful thinking and foolish, which is why I don't ever think about it, to be honest with you. I'm certainly not sitting here in Gdansk, Poland, hoping Megadeth calls me. You know what I mean? I've got my own bands that I run. I've got my own business to deal with. And, even at rehearsal today, I'm sitting here singing a bunch of new songs or even working on another one now. And, necessity is the mother of invention, and what happened in that transition to where I am now has required for me to now get out of my comfort zone and do some other things, like sing, be a sort of co-band leader with these guys. I was not allowed to do that in Megadeth. In the early days, yeah. In the 90s, yeah. If I think back to glory days, yeah, there was some. The 90s were the sweet spot with Megadeth. We were managed well. We were a team. We came as a team. We left as a team, and everybody had a role. But when it was reformed, it was clear that that's not what it was going to be. And when I went back for the Rust in Peace tour, that was a good couple of years in there, but, to not be allowed to create, to always be resented for being successful on my own. I see Def Leppard, they're like, yay, Vivian Campbell, he's doing Last in Line. Alice Cooper supports Nita Strauss going out and, he even let her leave the band and join Demi Lovato and come back to the band. I look at these dynamics. Those are the bands I want to be in. The band that I was fired from, I don't want to fucking go back to that band. That was fucking horrible. You know what I mean? So I don't want to go back to that. So, honestly, here's the simple answer. For me to go back, there's only one thing that would have to change, and that's everything.